Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Rangers lose in the quarter-final of the Scottish Cup for the third year in a trot. I hope it's in Johnstone and penalty kicks. And joining myself, Oxchair on the show is my mate Port. Good evening, Port.
How we doing, mate? Aye. 3 in the row, quarter-final loss. I've got to be brutally honest, Oxchair. I think the better team won. I think we were outthought, and St Johnstone deserved what they got, mate. That's my opinion.
We had the game won, mate, and we had the ball down in the corner, Kenton Roof, and we've got to make sure it stays there. That's how you do the hard yards, and then you take it from there, you know.
Hello.
You work hard.
I thought so.
Oh, you got to work hard, right? We'll get these phone lines open.
Yeah,
there,
definitely.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, anyway, we've been joined with our first caller. I think it's Alistair. He was on me on Thursday night. Evening, Alistair.
Hi, how you doing?
You're a jinx, mate.
How you doing, Alistair? Good man to phone in, mate.
I've been better after that, unfortunately, but hugely frustrating. Big opportunity missed, I think, tonight. As much as the focus for the season was stopping the 10 and getting 55, we've kind of thrown things away tonight by really, really poor defending at a set piece. It's disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, poor potential. What we've seen, Alistair, I don't know what you think. We've ended up with a shortage of bodies in midfield because we had to play. We played a Rebo in there. I'll go to you, Port, first, then Alistair. We played a Rebo in there, and we win as a team, we lose as a team. But Hadji, come on, Port, you need to give me a help here. You need to come round to my way of thinking, brother. But we play him there. We lose the effectiveness of Rebo holding the ball up for us. And we're one body short in midfield because we've not got the numbers with Jack and obviously Scott Arfield never made it tonight. We must have got hurt on Wednesday night, so
yeah,
things just conspired against us. On you go, Port.
Oxchair, I've been a massive fan of Yanis Hadji. I think in the final third, he's got the ability to create that magic. He's got to keep saying he's got that pass. He's that moment of magic that's in my opinion, no one else at Ibrox has got. But I can't keep defending the undefendable, mate. I can't keep doing it because you make myself look stupid because I keep defending the boy. Not only that, when you play him in that central midfield role, or with him and Aribo were sort of swapping, as you said, you're losing Aribo's ability in the final third. So it meant, Hadji more often than not was in that central midfield role alongside Kamara and Davis, and let's be totally honest, mate, that ain't enough. It ain't enough. I'm not blaming injuries because, as you said, we win as a team and we lose a team. No matter who's picked, should still go out there and give their all. And I've got to say it, mate. For 2 games in a row, the last few games he's played, he's been posted missing, and we can't play a game with 10 men, mate. We can't play a game with 10 men.
Listen, it wasn't his fault. We ultimately didn't.
No.
But his performance I thought was poor. Along with others, I may say, Alistair.
Yep, I think you've got to remember that Hadji's still a young guy, and he's a young guy who's come in with a relatively big price tag on him, and he's come into the club and has had some good performances for us, but I think tonight he was indeed posted missing. And as much as you look at Morelos' chance towards the end of the game, I also felt when Roof come on, I don't think Roof offered us the same as what Morelos offers us.
Don't get me started.
But again, that's a price tag thing. You get Roof coming in, albeit on a...
All right, I'll cut across you, Alistair. We've been joined by Andy. How are we doing, Andy?
How are you doing, Alistair? How are you doing, son?
Aye, all right, mate. I've had better.
Oh, unbelievable. Hey, listen, unbelievable. But
we shot ourselves the foot, mate.
Well, hey, listen, the chances you had, big man. We had chances. I'm sitting here with it, but I feel my way. I'm going, how do we lose that? Why did we lose that? They were there for the draw. St Johnstone was there for the penalties, and you know what I mean?
I think they had the tactic, mate. Get to 75 minutes, and then they were always going to bring O'Halloran on. That was their tactic, mate. I really for them because they know he's quick, the boy. You know.
I know he's quick, but he didn't have for Rangers, but he did me for them. I did. The last time he came on against us, he gets sent off after 3 minutes. Know what I mean?
Aye, you hear me. You hear. But, you're right to be gutted because it's a bad night. We should be beating teams like St Johnstone at Ibrox. We should have.
We should have. That should be wrapped up. And I'm saying nothing against Stevie Gerrard. Why did you take it off you off? Why did you take it off you off?
I couldn't understand that, mate. That's
unbelievable. I'm sitting with my daughter and my son, and I'm saying, why is it off you off? And they bring on, hey. You know what I'm saying?
He's actually grown into the game, Alfie. I don't know what you think.
He hit the post, and that Xander had 2 outstanding saves, 2 with his feet.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service. The person you are calling...
Carry on, Andy. Carry on.
You know what I'm saying? Xander was like... So I'm saying, Alfie's going to get a chance here and he'll score. And he takes him off.
I know, mate, I know. Listen, mate, it's been a great season. It's been filled with...
Listen, Oxford.
Disappointed.
I'd attain this every day of the week. 55 would win the league. But to go in that manner, it's unbelievable. Again,
I think the manager doesn't commit it without any responsibility, mate. Yeah, but maybe it's just conspired against him with Scotty Arfield maybe getting hurt. And, you know,
I'd have started right.
Well, Scott Wright.
I'd have started the game on right. I mean, as I said, Scott Wright with I know your favourite player has you. I tell you, disappointed. But I'd have started right straight away because I'd have put right on me to protect our captain. You know what I mean? Just doing the right side and within that. But to be fair, right, come on, he did a lot. He was productive. You know what I mean? But,
he never scored the goal of the season, mate. He's jinking, you know. And
I know.
Just anyway, mate. We'll let you go because the phone lines are busy.
Brilliant. Listen, nice to speak to you anyway. Right,
big
you
man.
take care, big man. I love you.
Cheers,
Love you, lovely. Okay, take care. Right, cheers
mate.
But aye, you can hear the disappointment in his voice, Portbeard. But we've lost a game of football. We were maybe a team just rope-a-dope, maybe, and they worked harder than us on the night. Is that fair?
Yep.
Why don't you go Port, then we'll go to Alistair.
I think like I touched on at the start of the show, mate. I think we just simply out-thought, and they, as you said earlier, they had a tactic to sit in and soak up the pressure as much as they could. They tried to hit us in the counter with a quick counter attack. They brought a Har on. That was definitely the tactic. His blistering pace. And one thing I don't mind, Oxford, is losing a game when our team shows up and we fight and we harry and we create chances. But there was another game in night, Oxford. We had a few chances, but did we create enough, mate? In my opinion, we didn't.
We never anyway. We've been also joined by Ross. Evening, Ross.
How you doing, Ox? Right, what?
How you doing, mate?
Not bad, not bad.
I'm still champion, mate.
Still champion, but it was bitterly disappointing. Yeah, definitely. I just think we just didn't do enough. I think we were too slow moving the ball, and they were well organised. Whenever we had it, they were back into their shape, and we just never did. I just felt as though we didn't do enough, you know what I mean, to win the game, and I felt as though St Johnstone deserved it. Just disappointed.
I don't think you're alone with these thoughts, Alistair. They did maybe fight as in a big physical team. They obviously play for set pieces, but I was disappointed at the end. That goalie was in the near 6-yard box, and there was nobody near him.
It's a free header. At the end of the day, if a goalkeeper comes forward for a corner kick, you know who they're going to try and pick out. They're going to try and pick out the guy that, when you've done your tactics beforehand, you're picking up this guy or that guy. If the goalkeeper comes forward, he's the guy that's on his own. So surely we should have found somebody that could have picked him up in the 6-yard box. It's a free header, and it doesn't matter how good you are in the air or otherwise. Being a free header in the 6-yard box, you're going to create a chance. He's got the head on it. Looks as if he scored initially, and obviously when you then watch it back, the guy's got a touch on it. But to defend as poorly with 30 seconds to go at set piece is really poor. But if anything, I think tonight was a mentality thing for a lot of the players. We have won the league at a canter. We've won the league with a number of games to spare, and I think the guys at the moment are finding it quite difficult to then step back up that level. And almost I turned up tonight thinking, you know what, we've beaten Celtic in the last round. Celtic are the sort of second best team in the country, so therefore we're done. The cup's out, their names in the trophy, and I think there's been a bit of complacency kicked in tonight in terms of the way we played.
I love Alan McGregor, and he's arguably been my best player of the season. But here's a question for you, Ross: should he have just come for it, everything kamikaze, and just punch it, and hear the final whistle?
Well, it's in the 6-yard box, Ox, in it, so you would expect him to do that. But again, there's need to pick them up. He's just thinking, no, he's a goalie, he's not going to do anything. But it's whipped into the perfect position, and all he needs to do is put his head on it. That's it. So it's a mark of bad defending, and the goalie McGregor should be coming for it, in my opinion.
Port.
He should be clearing it out, mate. He should be clearing it. It was a crowded box, right enough, but in that 6-yard box that Ross touched on, and it was an in-swinger as well, so he should be coming punching, mate, whether he gets hurt or not. Even he probably would have got hurt, but with 30 seconds to go, he punches it out for a shy, and we reset. We go in my formation, and it probably doesn't, we see the game out, mate. But there's been some poor decision making tonight, mate. There was a lot of mistakes, slack passing. But sometimes watching the game, it was like walking pace as well, which I wasn't happy about. The tempo was so low tonight, mate. We were really, really poor, Oxford. We need to be brutally honest. The best team won.
I don't think. I thought Kent's fits and starts done alright. Alfie grew into the game. Hadji, right done. He was fits and starts as well when he came on. Done some lovely things, the boy, but I couldn't even understand when he was playing because he was that narrow.
Yeah.
And then Kamara and Aribo weren't fantastic. Listen, Ross, we'll let you go, mate. These phone lines are busy, as you can imagine.
No problem, guys. Okay.
Cheers, Ross.
Take care, boys. See you later.
Cheers,
bud.
He just jumped back in the mentality side of things.
Yes,
we were 1 up with a minute to go, and you mentioned walking pace there. The ball broke for Roof, and Roof decided to walk the ball into the corner when he was 18, 20 yards for goal, rather than go positively and go, you know what, the second goal finishes the game without a doubt. We were trying to take the ball into the corner at home at 1-0, and that for me is something that we need to look at, because I don't understand that sort of trying to kill the game off, trying to sort of take the pace out, to take the sting out of it, when you've got an opportunity to go for goal and potentially create something that for all intents and purposes, finishes the game off.
That's a good point.
There's two things for me there, Alistair. I get it. If Ruth makes a pass and gets it wrong, or has a shot like he done on Wednesday night, we'd be having the same conversation but different. But if he does take it into the corner, what he's got to make sure is it stays in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So
100%.
we ended up putting out for a goal kick to let them get up the park. But if it does go out there, it's got to go out for a throw in the corner.
Yep.
You've got to be cute. Anyway, we've also been joined by George. Evening, George.
All right, lads, man, I'm absolutely gutted. You know what I mean? We chopped it away.
Aye, we shot ourselves in the foot, George. We shot ourselves in the foot.
I just don't understand why we took Alfredo off, man, broke Kemar roof on. Because, by the way, you seen the first half? That was a penalty or not? That was definitely a penalty. Shoved him in the back, in the box. And honestly, he hit the post, man. He nearly scored. He hit the keeper, man. Kemar roof came on and offered absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? And honestly, and they should have 2 players sent half. That Kane and Weatherspoon should have been half.
Weatherspoon for the tackle.
Aye.
For the tackle.
See that Paulney shot? Never even get booked for that, man. That Kane, the Paulney shot, never even get booked for that.
My boy McCann.
I'd have been second yard and he'd been half. Unbelievable, man. At the end of the day, man, all we had to do was run the clock down, man. It's simple as that, man. And we did that. And it says, man, when that keeper come up, nobody was marking him. He was all loading the box, man. And McGregor should have come out and just punched it to anywhere, you know what I mean?
Here's something for you, Port Bear. There was times in it I didn't think Alan McGregor looked fit.
No, I see we mentioned on the show before by other callers and other panellists that the team look, out on their feet. And, it's been mentioned a few times, in fact. And is that the problem? Have we not got the legs? Because St Johnstone definitely had the legs. They would have ran, that's 120 minutes, mate, they ran, and their penalties. And let's just say as well, their penalties were outstanding, so they've practiced as well. They just look strong, they look fit, and we weren't there for all here. Definitely not. Sorry, mate, yep.
On you go.
Steven Taff walked up to take that penalty. Did you think he was going to score it? Or did you think Kemar Roof was going to score?
No.
Near to that. I was like myself, Taff didn't look confident at all. Kemar Roof didn't look good. See that? Too many runs before he takes the shot. Keeper's going to save that.
I think the thing is, they were the finishing horses, and all that nervous energy comes out. You think things have conspired. George, listen, with the game one, we've got to see it out. 2 goals.
I know, mate, that's exactly that. Shot himself in the foot. It's almost like a European games with the chances to run it out, man. Just play it down their corner flag, you know what I mean? We end up, man, trying to go for another goal and end up losing the goal. We've got to learn game management. We just play there.
And you come, Alistair?
I'll let you go, lads, right?
Right, George. Cheers, brah. Speak to you soon.
No bother, will you take care for it? Sorry, best.
Cheers, George.
Take care, mate.
Just to pick up on what we were saying at McGregor, there was an incident, I think it was in the first half, where the ball got played back to him. He took a touch, and Stevie May came in, closed him down, and almost nicked the ball, goes out for a goal kick, and that's it's very, very difficult to be critical of McGregor because he's been so instrumental in our season. But tonight, I just felt there were a couple of occasions. He said a great save for Halloran, fantastic save when Hollander gets injured in extra time.
Yep.
But there were a couple of occasions tonight where you're thinking it just wasn't quite. And I don't know if that's the fact that Stephen changed it during the week and he brought John McLaughlin in. He's lost that momentum a wee bit or whatever. But it just didn't seem to be at that level that we expect from him. But as I say, it's difficult to be critical. 6 yards out, irrespective of whether you've got an opposition player, goalkeeper or otherwise. Maybe you're looking for your goalkeeper, as you say, they'll have to come out and just take the hat, take the dun, and fields the ball. You know how overprotected goalkeepers are these days. If he comes for that ball and somebody goes up to challenge him, the referee's going to give the free kick, and we're home, we're done, we're finished.
If you watch it again, we've got 3 men at the edge of the box doing nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
As if we were.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 077.
You know, I don't know if you noticed that, Alistair.
Yeah, and that's what I don't understand. As I say, the number of teams that at that stage of the game that bring the goalkeeper up, they're looking to pick out the goalkeeper because nobody's, when you've done your tactics, when you've done your planning, nobody's planning and picking up a goalkeeper at a set piece. So I can't understand why you wouldn't just say, you know what, we'll leave this guy at this stage and we'll deploy somebody in the goalkeeper, we'll stand somebody in front of the goalkeeper, somebody to challenge the goalkeeper. If somebody challenges Xander Clark tonight, I don't think he gets his cleaner header on it. If he doesn't get his cleaner header on it, the boy doesn't then get the opportunity to knock at him. So it's galling the way it's finished, irrespective of whether it's the goalkeeper that's won the ball or whatever. We should have managed the game better in those last 4 minutes after Tav scored the header. It was a fantastic header, fantastic delivery for Arrivo. Once we've got ourselves in that position where in a game that we haven't played particularly well, we should have managed
the O2 messaging service.
Yep.
Hi, Port.
Can I ask you a couple of questions, Oxdear?
As long as
you and Alistair. They're not too hard. Right. I've got. Do any of you think played the 7 changes in the league game? Do you think that's question one? Do you think that affected tonight's game? Alistair's talking about momentum with the keeper. Was the momentum with that team's been winning? All right. At times they'll be playing well, but that team had that winning mentality and almost installed into them. Did that 7 changes have a bearing or effect on tonight's game?
I'll be honest. I don't like wholesale changes. I don't like that sort of volume of changes. I can understand why Stephen did it during the week, but you've got players in our team that seem, when it comes to resting players or leaving players out, they don't get left out, whereas there are others that do. But making that volume of changes and disrupting the momentum, I think has had an effect tonight, because you've then almost got guys during the week who are good enough to play in a dead rubber of a league game, but then are left out, and we've had to rely on 2 or 3 of them to come in tonight as well as substitutes. So I think that has had an impact. And Stephen, in fairness, earlier on this season, when he's made that number of changes, he's held his hands up and said, I shouldn't have made the number of changes I made. And we forget he's only 3 years into the job, so he needs to learn that making that, perhaps on reflection, make the changes he made during the week has had a detrimental impact in tonight's performance.
We've been joined by Billy. I'll come back to that question.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, sorry.
Don't bother, mate. I'll come back to it. Evening, Billy.
Evening, lads. How are you getting on? No,
all right, Billy.
Anybody else? I've just I just see what everybody's saying about why did he take Morelos off. I just couldn't understand that here. But the thing is, what I'm going to say is, when he took Morelos off and he brought Roof on, and what I did notice in the first half as well, see when Rangers were they were throwing the ball into the box, corner kicks, free kicks, we used to always have somebody on the line. There was nobody on their lines. McGregor they weren't. I just think we were dead in our feet. I just thought we were all dead in our feet. And the guy that scored the goal should have been off at back.
It could have been, mate. It could have been for the challenge on goals.
Okay, but I don't want to go into Marlon McGregor. He's had a great season, but
listen. What we're saying is, in hindsight, he could have came and cleared the ball. He's old, for this season, any criticism of Marlon McGregor?
No, they can't do it.
No chance.
But see, actually, see if they hadn't taken Alfie off, right? Alfie, Roof was really about that area in front of the keeper, and he'd done nothing. Alfie had been playing. Alfie would probably have cleared it. If Hollander's been on the park, Hollander would probably have cleared it. Maybe. It's just one of these things.
When you see it again, what was Barisic then, mate? You know.
But the thing is, as well, with the penalty kicks, Tab missed his last 2 before he took that. He just didn't have confidence. He's missed his 2 before that. If he's going to take a penalty, don't let him take the first or second one. Leave him later on. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all done now. I thought we were dead on our feet. We've been left with resources. And what the SFA have done to us with the guards, what they've done to us, and the referee was completely out of order. Completely and utterly out of order. In my honest opinion. But that's it. We've had a great season. We won what mattered most. We won that.
Aye,
that's bang on. The target for the season was to stop the 10 and win 55, and that's what we've done.
And it wasn't 10 anyway. Everybody goes on about 10. It wasn't. They didn't even win 9, to be perfectly honest.
8.5 or whatever it was.
But we've just got to. I think there'll be a lot of changes next year. And by the way, I know you're going about Hadji. I actually like Hadji, but I thought Stevie would, if he's going to play Hadji, play him in midfield and keep Aribo up on the right hand side of it up front. And I thought what he done was Aribo back.
Even moved Aribo to the other side of the park for the first 20 minutes.
I know. But I think we're dead on our feet. All the boys look knackered. And when they were getting some terrible fouls, see on goals, I don't know any of them dirty fouls on them. But that's what it is. And between the SFA, but anyway, we won the main thing, and I think there'll be big changes next year. I think. And another thing, when he brought Roof on, I thought the chance was there to bring Big Itton on instead of Roof, because to me, we wants to hold the ball up there, and I think Itton's better at holding it up than Roof is.
That's another good point you make there, mate. See subs, I think they should all be ready to go, and we've got Itton, we've got another boy who can play centre half, Leo and King on the bench.
Young boy.
Aye, I know he's a young boy, but there's 1 minute to go. Yeah. Right in Kent, aren't they going to win your header, are they?
No.
Yeah.
But see, Big Itton, if you're Roof, I don't know. I think if he gets some of his money back on it, I think he might let Roof go. That's just a personal opinion. He's not playing it, and so I begin to think maybe thinks he's not up to the job. But at least the big man will go up there and he'll hold the ball in. Roof wasn't holding the ball up there. He wasn't holding it. He wasn't strong enough to hold it. Where I think Itton could have been strong enough to hold. That's just a wee point I'm making. We've won the one that matters, and that's the main thing it means.
Well said, Billy. Well said. You're right. Going back to your original point, Portberry, you asked the question. I'll come back about whether Wednesday. I don't think Wednesday had a lot of impact in that game, apart from the fact that, well, I'm assuming Scotty Arfield got hurt there. Mm-hmm. He might have got hurt in training, mate. No, I don't think he did. I think we just never started well. We started slow, and we let them build in confidence, and we misplaced the pass, and there was a couple of times we passed the ball at the park, and that summed up our night for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you think St Johnstone's the best team? The toughest team we've played this year?
They're organised. The guys done a good job with them. We had enough chances to win the game, mate, quite comfortably, if we're being honest. Mm-hmm. And with enough situations to make more chances to win the game. But goals change games, and we had to get the first goal, and then they would have needed to changed, and hopefully we could have went on and got the second goal, you know. I mean, Kamara's got to score, Alistair, isn't he?
It's actually very, very similar to the League Cup early in the season when Stephen Davis scores with 2 or 3 minutes to go against St Mirren. We're level at 2 each. We're thinking we're going
Welcome
extra time,
to the O2
and then all of a sudden we concede the goal. And I dare I say it in a very similar manner tonight, where we've switched off. We've switched off at a set piece and conceded a very, very cheap goal. But it's difficult to be critical. It's difficult to pick out. In terms of Kamara's chance, I think he's got to score. Morelos has done very, very well, and I agree with quite a lot of the callers that the decision to take Morelos off, I thought first half he was in and out the game, but he grew into the game in the second half. And as much as he missed the chance with the header, it's a good save for the goalkeeper. But I felt Morelos was affecting the game more at that time. And yes, if you want to change it, if you want to bring press legs on, then wait that 5-10 minutes to the end of the game, rather than bringing Roof on when he did with 8 or 9 minutes to go. The right thing to do was probably to see it through, and then change it when we're at the turnaround.
Billy?
Yes, I agree with what's getting said there. Yes, but I thought, see the likes of Ryan Kent, I thought Ryan, but apart from one wee piece of magic, I thought Ryan in one of his poorest games I've ever seen him playing in
the game.
Many times did he misplace a pass. I just think they were all dead in their feet.
And the thing is, we'll put all of our boys out on loan, or some of the boys that they think can maybe... Everybody was out on loan, but doing it for bare bones. We're bringing a boy Simpson come in. My God, he's hardly played any football. Whether he makes it, I don't know. It's too early to judge. But we were missing Big Balogun, because Big Balogun would be on centre set. He would probably have cleared up. I'm convinced if Morelos had still been on the park, he'd have been running about the goalkeeper. He would have cleared a bit. Having said, I don't want to go on about McGregor again, but just come out, as the boys say. Just come out and that's all you need to do. He stood in his line. But no, did you not notice during the game, even at the penalty kicks, he wasn't his usual sprite self at the penalty kicks.
But I think
it's
difficult to be critical of McGregor for the penalty kicks, because the 4 penalty kicks they took were excellent. I think we have to be honest and hold our hands up.
Yeah.
Their 4 penalty kicks were absolutely bang on the money, and had our 4 guys, in terms of Tav and Ruth, had they had as much conviction with their penalty kicks, then I don't think we'd be having this discussion. I don't think McGregor could have got any. It wasn't as if they were half-hearted or poor attempts. I think they did very, very well for their penalty kicks. But yeah, I agree that if you've got a ball coming into the penalty area 6 yards out, you've got to look at your goalkeeper at least making a decision to come and make the challenge.
Yep. It looked like they practiced Alistair, didn't it? And we didn't.
It did.
If we're honest, yeah. That's what it looked like to me.
And as much as a couple of the callers have talked about Tav and all that kind of stuff, if you're sitting at the start of a penalty shootout and you're looking at the guys that are in the park, you're going Tav, you're going Barisic, you're going Defoe, you're going Ruth. So in terms of the 4 guys that took the penalty kicks, they would probably been in the first 5 anyway.
Yep.
And what we also have, we've got to kind of give Tav a wee bit of afford him a wee bit of latitude here. The guy's barely played for the last 5, 6, 7 weeks, and he's now played 120 minutes a night, and we're expecting him to step up and score.
He got the goal. What? By the way,
Exactly.
What a finish!
See when
terrific header.
I was like, who was that? And then
we've got a right back at centre forward pretty much when the ball comes in. Terrific delivery for Aribo, terrific header. And when it comes to a penalty shootout, should your number 1 penalty taker be first? Always remember that back sort of 80s, 90s when McCoy was the main penalty taker, he would take the penalty first usually, because you're thinking that gives you the advantage if it's your
if you score,
you can go to the guy for penalties, particularly for first. Tav scores, but by the same token, if you miss it, puts you in the back foot. But I think it's difficult to be critical of any of the players this season. We have, and I think I agree with a lot of people that have come on tonight, there's a tiredness about us now. It's almost as if, you know what, we've had all that effort, we've had that big push to make sure that we've won the league, and it's a squad of players now that have earned a rest and have earned the opportunity to go away and enjoy their pre-season, enjoy their close season. I think...
Is it flip-flops on, Alistair? Is it flip-flops on, do you think?
Well, can I sum up to the League Cup earlier in the season again, when Celtic had beat Ross County? I think everybody thought, well, Rangers' names in the trophy, and it, back to what I said earlier on about mentality, it's very, very, it seems to be very, very easy to kind of lapse into, well, Celtic are out, so therefore it's ours to lose, and in both cup competitions this year we've managed to do that, and I do think we are now in a position where we've got 3 league games left. The invincible season, or however you want to call it, in terms of going undefeated in the league, is now becoming a nice to have. But I do think after beating Celtic in the last round, the mindset of the players has now gone to, well, beating Celtic, so the cup's theirs. And there was a lethargy about us tonight. I just don't think we had that same sort of zip of what we've played. You mentioned Ryan Kent, yeah, in and out the game. Hadji, again, similar, in and out the game. And
cheers, Alistair. We've been joined by Albert. Evening, Albert.
How you doing, Ox? How you doing, guys?
Albert.
I'm not going to rant and rave, I promise. I'm not going to rant and rave. I want to rant and rave, but I'll not do it. I think I've not heard anything tonight that I agree with, basically. The thing that happened tonight is what the old failing raised it for the last 2 years, raised its ugly head again. And that's putting the ball in the net. Morelos missed 2 sittles. That's why we're out. That's why we put the cup. We missed 2 sittles. You can't hide for that fact. You should be scoring their goals. And if you don't score the goals, you don't win the games. So all the penalty kicks and the extra time, it was for nothing. The defence done their job for 90 minutes. Never conceded. Morelos has 2 sittles. Two clear chances. He should be taking at least one, in my opinion, 2. He does that, you're 1-2-0 through to the semi-finals. It's as simple as that, mate. The rest of it doesn't mean anything. The rest of it's just junk. Penalty kicks are a lottery. No, I mean, everybody knows that.
Would you took him off when he did?
Probably I would have took him off, mate, because he missed the sitters. I think his thinking was, if we create another one anywhere like they two, with the roof, he would have took it. But we didn't. I mean, he still looks as if he's towing a caravan, that boy. He just doesn't look fit, that boy. It really doesn't.
Nothing looks much.
At the end of the day, I mean, we played the game too slow. I mean, but again, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter either. It's put the ball in the net. Last year when we get put, I think it's Hearts put us out last year. Yes. Before they actually scored, we had about 3 chances. Kent had 2, I think, and Morelos had 1. We take the chances, we win the game. It's just simple.
Morelos wasn't playing. He was late back for. Remember, was that again?
There must have been Kent. I think Kent had 2 chances. Anyway.
I might be right there, Albert, but I remember.
No, I mean, I don't know, but that's the problem. It's extra time and all that. It's just nonsense. I don't care about extra time. In fact, I've seen the first 15 minutes actually, and then that dodgy site went to pot, so I didn't see the second half, and the second half the extra time, and I didn't see the penalty kicks. But I wasn't bothering about it. I'm sitting saying, this is a lottery now. You're just, especially getting into the penalties, that's just a lottery. I never seen them, so I can't comment on them. But my problem.
I'll take your point that you think Morelos should have scored with the 2 headers in the second half, yeah? The one he had the one the goalie saved.
Aye, there were sitters, mate. Come on, he's got to score them.
I don't think they were dead certs, but he maybe should have put at least one of them, and I'll accept that. Port Bear.
Aye, you know, striker scored goals, and the form the wee man's been in, he has been scoring. Not as many as last year. But Albert, you can't tell me that performance tonight, you know, forget about the goals. We didn't deserve to win that game tonight, Albert. Not in a million years. They outfought us in every department.
Aye, no fair football point of view. I mean, the big disappointment was the speed of the play, but that was the same as on Wednesday night. But I've been saying it since the boy get racially abused in that European game. Kamara is just no playing. He's playing too slow. I don't know if it's his contract negotiations or it's they carry on with this racial abuse, but something's happened to that guy, and he's no playing. He's playing way too slow. He seems to have got it into his head that the slower I play, the better I'll show everybody I'm a better player than everybody on this part. You're going, just get back to the way you were playing before. And we're wanting him to move the ball fast to create chances. You've got Kent, and you forget about Hadji, he was a non-event tonight. But you had Morelos, you had Rebo. They're wanting to break fast. But you've got him mincing about and stoking the ball and slowing the ball and doing that wee dummy, that wee turn he does. When there's no need to do it, he's no selling in with a dummy. He's just doing it for the sake of doing it. And I'm saying, that's madness. What you doing, son? Just go on with the game and move the ball faster. Sometimes you don't even need to stoke the ball, son. It's just a move the pass on. But he doesn't. He always wants to stoke the ball now. And he never was like that. He didn't. He's only started doing this. And I don't know. I mean, but that affects us.
Aye, it does. Mate, we're short of midfielders, really short of midfielders. 3 on the park and 9 on the bench. We've been joined by Davy from Coatbridge. Evening, Davy. Come on, Davy.
Davy's been all Shyocks.
Maybe there's too much background noise in Coatbridge and he can't hear.
There's too much celebration going on.
Are you there, Davey? No, all right. Well, he's gone. Right, okay. I take your point. Alistair, you've got to score goals. That's what the game's about. I thought, I don't know if I would put the blame on Morelos completely.
No.
But I thought we were in midfield as a unit. We weren't great tonight.
I think you've got the two chances we were talking about, in terms of the one where he gets a header and hits the post, and the one sort of towards the end of the game where he wins the header and the goalkeeper saves it with his foot. You can look at it a couple of ways. The second one in particular, the goalkeeper's got lucky. If that goes anywhere else, it's in. And I suppose the kind of training ground or the sort of coaching instruction is, if you get the header, you head it down the way. If Morelos heads anywhere else other than down the way, he scores with that header. So textbook-wise, it's a textbook header. I think the goalkeeper's got lucky. Yes, he's inside the 6-yard box. A guy of his calibre, should he score, he's hit the target, as far as I'm concerned. And the goalkeeper has been very fortunate. But to go back on what we've said earlier, I think we took him off just that wee bit too early. And given how Morelos' mentality works, he probably thinks he's been taken off because of the chances he's missed. Well, it's been a tactical decision to bring Roof on and potentially change the last 5-10 minutes of the game. But yeah, you've got to, if you get good chances in games, you've got to take them. But there was a centre forward that we spoke about when I was on Thursday night, who made a career out of missing chances, but he also made a career out of scoring goals. You can't expect your centre forward to score with every single opportunity that he gets, and we need to sort of take cognizance of that as well. Yes, he's not been as prolific this season, but I think he's been a better all-round player. If you think of his discipline, for example, that he's been rightly in the past criticised for.
I thought he was unlucky to be booked. I really did.
He was very unfortunate. And I think somebody made as well.
Just a point. I'm not criticising Morelos for missing the chance. I'm not criticising the boy at all. He had a sort of semi-decent game tonight, but no a brilliant game.
It was one of
the chances, and I'm not blaming him for getting put out of the cup. But the fact of the matter is, he should be scoring 8 goals. He scores 8 goals, we're through. It's as simple as that. You can't deny that. He scores 8 goals, we're through. And I'm not blaming him because we went out, as Plot said there, we didn't deserve to go through. We didn't play any decent football. No. We allowed their tactics to be implemented on us. And I'm thinking to myself, after Wednesday night, what did we learn about them? Where's their weaknesses? How can we get to them? And what did we do? We played the exact same night as we did on Wednesday night. You're saying we learnt nothing. We learnt absolutely nothing. And I'm saying you need to turn the 3 centre-halves. You need to turn them. If you don't turn them, they're just going to press up on us. And I'm a great believer. I've seen that press that they've done, and other teams have done it to us. If a team's pressing you that far up with that amount of players, if they're up in our half, they're no back in their half. So the ball gets put into their half. And let your forwards, your speed merchants get a hold of it.
We put ourselves in trouble with too many passes across the back.
Exactly.
I think Alistair made the point, and I'll go to Billy with this. He made the point that we could have lost a goal with a foot goal when McGregor got caught with the ball in the first half. Billy?
Yes, just see what the chap was saying there. I agreed with most of it, actually.
You don't agree with him. Nobody agrees with him.
Well, he was summarising it. See the copybook, especially the second header. See the copybook one is, you head it back to where it came from. And he done it, you head it back. But to me, he hadn't ran to cover his other side. He just got lucky. The keeper won his lucky nights. And I think what Gerrard's doing to Morelos is not right either. He's subbing him quite a lot of times now, getting him off. And I just don't understand it. I totally don't understand it. And I don't understand a lot of things. Zunga, he doesn't think he's good enough because he would have played him now. Same with Itten. He'd have gave Itten a few chances, I think. But obviously he doesn't think he's good enough. Roof, no, I think there'll be big changes next year. I think Gerrard will make big changes. But we're missing the midfield. We're missing Ryan Jack. We're really missing Ryan Jack.
Just on that one in terms of Ryan Jack.
Oh, we're missing Ryan Jack. It's unbelievable.
I think Aribo's more effective in the the role that Hadji played tonight. But obviously he's brought Hadji in, he's brought Aribo back. But if you've got somebody like Brian Jack,
but see if he'd swapped him over though. If he'd played Aribo on the right hand side where Hadji was playing and dropped Hadji back into midfield a bit, that might have worked, because Hadji does not play that position Gerrard keeps playing him at, in my honest opinion. He seems lost out there. He doesn't know what to do. He's used to feeding the balls for somebody else to run away with. So I think there'll be a lot of changes next year. I think we'll be a far better team next year than what we were this year. And look at our record this year.
I hope you're right.
No, I definitely do. Honestly, I do. But I think who we missed, really, and I'm being honest with you, and nothing against Tav, because he's obviously no fit. It's going to take him a umpteen games but we missed that wee boy on the right-hand side. That wee boy's got pace and everything. That boy's got pace. He'd have been at them. But having said that, maybe Tav will get a centre forward now. I think he might go into midfield, actually, Tav. I wouldn't mind seeing him in there when the boy comes back. But that boy's not going to play. You know, the sad thing about it, that him or Bassi are not going to play for us again this year. That's the sad thing.
That's him suspended for the rest of the season.
They're out to next year. And that SFA is an absolute effing joke, my honest opinion. But we need to do something. I've talked to you before about this. We need to do something about the SFA and the way they run football in this country, and the referees and the linesmen. And look at that referee today. My God, many times I can't understand he never sent some of them off. I just don't get it.
Well, I think the boy Witherspoon could have been red carded for that tackle. All bear. I don't
it's
know
a straight red.
But the guy scored the goal.
There's at least three of them. There's at least three of them had double yellow cards coming their way. You know what I mean? It was ridiculous. Even that May, he must have fouled Kent at least 4 times. I mean, I'm going to believe the amount of times he kept fouling. I'm going, he's going to get booked eventually, surely. But no, it didn't happen. But we're getting used to this nonsense, aren't we? It just happens game after game now.
One of the decisions I couldn't understand. See, the boy went off, and I don't know if anybody's seen it when he done his ankle on. It showed you the replay when he done it. I think it was Davis he was against the his ankles went. How he never went off then? But Kent was running through, and he tried to take him out. And how the referee doesn't go back? I know the boy went off, get carried off, but how he doesn't go back and book him, I don't know. No. But listen, the referee wasn't maybe great, but we've got to put the ball in the net. Port Bear.
Got to put the ball in the net, Oxtear. You've got to roll your sleeves up and show them that you want it as much as they do. And in my opinion, Rangers didn't roll their sleeves up, mate. They fought us in midfield. Every position, they were hungry. Their fullbacks got up and joining in the attack. They were strong in the tackle. Young boy Ali McCann probably should have been sent off for 2 bookings. Witherspoon, very high, dangerous challenge in my opinion. Should have been a straight red. But Oxford, that showed that it might be the dark arts of the game, mate, but they were up for it. And the simple fact of the matter is, we won it, and we got what just deserves. That's just, I don't know if I sound harsh, Oxford, but that's the way I see a game.
Fair. We'll be joined by Colin. Evening, Colin.
Hi guys, how you doing?
All right, mate. Give
us
your
Colin.
Thoughts.
Yeah, it's just been a disappointing night. Thought I'd phone up because it's a bit frustrating, but the only thing that matters to me now, I'm not that bored about the undefeated and all that carry on. I just hope that we can beat Aberdeen last game of the season, and as far as I know, that's the trophy day. We'll win that. We have a good summer. It's got to be a good summer anyway. But I'm just hoping that we focus on getting the 3 points there and having a bit of a party.
There's a game next weekend, mate, that Matchday would like to win. Always. I know where you potentially live, Colin, but some of us come from a different part of the world. I think if we had a choice to pick one to win.
I think we've done enough against Celtic. We've done enough to put them in their place.
Mate, never.
It's
never enough.
Oh no. You go to beat.
Last weekend. Last weekend, I think we've done enough.
All better than you come, mate. Fell off your seat there.
No. You never do enough against them, mate. You've got to realise you've just got to put them to the sword every opportunity you get, mate. You've got to put them to the sword. I don't care if we're playing them at dominoes or anything. You put them to the sword every time, mate. Every time, without question. And next week they need to be put to the sword again. Forget the night. It's done. It's finished. We're out the cup. We're being downfall. We made our own downfall tonight, so that's done. It's finished. Now we're on to this, the unbeaten. You've got 3 games to get it done. Get it done now. And I'm telling you right now, I'll be disappointed if we don't have a reaction to this and bounce back and just go and win the 3 games.
I mean, as much as we can say about the 3 games and leagues done and all that kind of stuff, how galling would it be now to have gone this far this season to then lose the unbeaten season next weekend? It would be.
Oh, no, the 3 of us left are going to try and mess it up. The 3 of them are going to try
it. There is no such thing as a meaningless Old Firm game. No such thing.
Colin, we'll let you come back in, mate. I think the boys for the west of Scotland see it slightly different for you, mate.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying, but I'm just thinking that I'm hoping that come the last game of the season, things will looking a bit better, and if we beat Aberdeen, it can be a bit of a party then. I mean, next weekend means fuck all compared to...
Oh, what's your language?
Sorry, language, but F all compared to actually winning against Aberdeen and having a bit of a party when we can win the league. That next weekend, that's what I'm trying to say. I'd rather have a win against Aberdeen in the very last match when we're winning the trophy.
Just remind us where you come from, Colin.
Aye, you can that.
Aye, well, mate, I think you, in the Rangers support, mate, if we've got a choice, who do we beat? Celtic or Aberdeen? Alistair?
No brainer for me. As I said, in terms of this season, if we were to have one defeat, and the one defeat in the board was to be next weekend, I think again that would take the shine off it a wee bit. I get where Colin's coming from. It's nice to finish with a win, but there's been plenty of league wins in the past where we've got the last game of the season and we've still had a party, whether we've won that game or not. But yeah, there's never anything other than huge importance for me on an Old Firm game, because it sets the mark, particularly the last one of the season, dare I say it, because that then kind of sets somebody away for the summer, either in a high or in a low. So for me, it's next weekend. And the Aberdeen game after that, I think, will take care of itself, because the confidence you get for an Old Firm one will probably see us through for the rest of the season. But beating Celtic at any, we said earlier about dominoes or drafts or backgammon, whatever, it doesn't really matter what we're playing them at. It doesn't matter if it's the ladies that are playing them. It doesn't matter if it's the guys' team that are playing them. I don't care what we're playing them at. I want to beat them at any opportunity.
I'm sorry, Cole. You're on your own, mate.
Yeah. I'll still stand by what I say, because I don't care which team we're playing. I just think the significance of the title, lifting the trophy, and getting a win is more important. But I can understand where you're coming from. I just think we've done enough this season that's made me happy with what we've done. But
Colin, if I had the choice between to save my marriage or beat them, I would beat them.
But sometimes, Albert, just sometimes some marriages are just too far gone. Anyway, we've been joined by Gary B. How are we doing, Gary?
A little bit despondent, guys, not going to lie. Wish we were in the next round, but we have to keep our eyes on 55. That was the goal. We've achieved that, so it's not all bad news, but like everybody else, I wish it was a bit different, to be honest with you. I think we let ourselves down tonight, but no taking it away for St Johnstone. I thought they played really, really, really well, and I think we were well off the pace in the final third. But there you go.
Aye, man, be interesting to see. We were poor tonight, mate. We were poor. Gary?
Yeah, just looked short of ideas, mate. I think we almost played it like a league game, as if we'd won the league and that was a league game. And you kind of wanted to shake the players and slap them a wee bit and say, this isn't the league, guys. You've won the league, but this isn't the league. It was almost like they were going through the motions, like, oh, we've won the league. That's a deed rubber.
Right.
It's just, you just wanted to say to them, you've only got... it just looked like a lot of boys there had their eyes on their summer holidays. It's just, it's unfortunate. I think a few of them will go into that dressing room a wee bit down in the dumps. But, I'm not going to be too hard on the team. I think that, overall, if you look where we were to where we've came to, we've won the league in exceptional fashion. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. I don't want to cause an argument or anything like that, but I would not be surprised if Rangers don't go undefeated, to be honest with you. I definitely want that, but what I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if that kind of falls by the wayside as well.
I can understand. I can understand where you're coming from there, mate. You can understand where you're coming with. Well, gentlemen. Gary was the last caller there coming in. Oh, wait a minute. No, he's no. We'll get some wise words for a wise man and then we'll move on. Port Bear, and you come.
Aye. I saw the night, mate. I feel pretty angry. I feel disappointed in a team that's achieved so much this year. With, winning 55 and great run in Europe, and that just takes some of the shine off that for me, mate. Because we shouldn't be going out and playing like that against St Johnstone. And like Gary just touched on there, I just hope the guys get their flip flops back off and get their foot boots back on, because that's the way it looked to me tonight, mate.
Aye, okay. We've been joined by a very wise man, one of Rangers Radio's gentlemen. Not saying the rest, he's on the gentleman right enough, but we've been joined by Alex from Wishaw. How we doing,
Good evening, Oxford. Good evening, Oxford. Port Bear. Everybody else that's in the panel. How we doing, boys? All right?
All right, mate.
Well, I'm over the initial shock now, but what's all about and that was it, I didn't think we really deserved to win anyway, in all honesty. I think we put enough into the game. And you've got to credit St Johnstone. They were well up. They were well up for it. They covered every blade of grass. And this is what happens when it goes into extra time penalty kicks. It's just a lottery then. Some of the decisions in that, the selections in that, it was kind of hard to think it was trying to do in that. But they're the piece. I suppose we've won the league, and that was the goal at the beginning. So if we take it to that, it's just going to think we beat the Celtic, and that was us a chance to win the Scottish Cup. It was the same in the League Cup as well. The
players showed their priorities tonight. It was only interested in the league in Europe, wasn't it?
I wouldn't really think that. No, not really. They don't get to. They're good to try and win a game. All Rangers players get to win a game. It's just how the game folded out. They were more up for it, but Rangers love it. They look tight at my legs, Rangers. I'm not making excuses for them, but this is what happens. If you look back, we could have probably won the treble then. I know they haven't beaten us. So, yeah, this is what happens in football. You've got to credit the other team.
I think you're right in terms of crediting the other team. Tonight wasn't a league game. Tonight was a cup tie, and I think one of the two teams played as a cup tie, and it wasn't ours.
And you come, Alistair. And you come. Last word for you, mate. Remember, you've got school in the morning.
Absolutely. Just kind of final thoughts from me are along the lines of it was a cup tie, and then a one-off cup tie, anything can happen. It doesn't matter whether you're 20 points clear or 20 points behind us. I think somebody said at some point tonight we're 50-odd points clear of St Johnstone. It doesn't matter. In a one-off cup tie, it's who turns up in the night, it's who plays well in the night. And I think we just have to hold our hands up tonight and say that the better team are in the semi-finals. And
absolutely,
we are gutted, we are disappointed, but we just didn't play anywhere near as good as we had done in the previous round. And I'll go back to what I said earlier. I think it's a mentality thing. Had we beaten anybody other than Celtic in the last round, had Celtic still been in the competition, I think we would have had a different setup tonight. But it can't take the shine off what's been a fantastic season for us. And I think we have to seek the positive on it. At the start of the season, if you'd offered us 55 and a couple of sore cup exits, would have taken that. So,
yeah.
All right.
Over your last word for Port Bear.
Aye, like you think all the callers, Alistair, Alex, Albert, too many to mention, I can't even remember the rest of them. Yourself, Oxshire, great show, mate, well done. And the boys in the background who make this show work. In Bridges' famous words, keep it going for the Rangers. Rangers really need us. And we move on to the next game and keep this invincible run going. That's what we've got left to fight for. So this team better get their flip-flops off pretty quick.
All right. Thank all the boys that's joined us. Thank Port Bear for joining us. Thanks to all the callers. It's hard when you're disappointed. Listen, 24 hours to go at it, and come and join us tomorrow night and give your reflections on Rangers Radio when you've had time to reflect. Thanks for listening. Please stay safe. Look after yourself when you all go to the pub tomorrow. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. And we'll be joined by the one and only Big Stevie. Take it away. Old School Blue.
Well said, Oxshire. Well said.
From Argyle, so young, to Glasgow City, they come, seeking fortune. Ambitions would grow. Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 55 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Ranger flags, sing with your heart and voice, celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all.